Well, August is starting to look like the beginning of an amazing second half of games we're getting on Stadia, with big titles like Baldur's Gate, Serious Sam, and PGA Tour 2K to name a few. But just some days ago, we got news of our first pro game that has been announced for August. Not only that, but there might be a free game coming to all of us here pretty soon. Well, maybe. And we got wind that Stadia Games Entertainment is hiring for an executive producer, and we'll discuss what that can mean for the rest of us. But let's start this video with news about our first August Pro game, and it's slightly unclear if this is a game that is tacked on to what we'll get at the beginning of the month. But the game announced here for August 14th is Rock of Ages 3 Make and Break, and we got the announcement, interestingly enough, via Twitter from Modus Games, who let us know that it will be free for all pro members on its launch midway August. And I have to say, I was disappointed but quickly happy to see this announcement for a few reasons. Now, the reason I was disappointed is the game was set to launch on July 21st, which is when I thought we would be getting this game. Now I think I might have prompted Modus Games myself with a tweet when I mentioned I was excited to play this next week. It got a few likes on there and they never responded, and the next day is when we got this message. I'm probably not that important though, but either way, all is forgiven for me personally, as getting the game free will give the opportunity for the rest of you guys to give this game a shot. And I think it's going to be a fun game. I've explained this a dozen times, but this is another tower defense game, and it's nothing like Orcs Must Die 3. In Rock of Ages, you'll be guiding a giant rock into your opponent's base, with your opponent dropping an insane amount of obstacles and traps in your way. It's a really fun title, and one that I will likely recommend if it plays like Rock of Ages 2, and I'm assuming it does, especially if you can also get this to play with a buddy. Either way, this isn't that big of a game, so I'm hoping that we do get at least one nice big AAA title announced for one of the pro games in August. Either way though, I am looking forward to this when it comes midway in August. But alright, moving on to the second part of this news video. If you guys enjoyed Super Hot on Stadia like I have, and it's a heck of a game, not that long ago, the Super Hot team announced its third standalone game in Super Hot Mind Control Delete, a sequel to the first title. But the crazy part here is that they announced that this new standalone game will actually be free for all who purchase the original game. And when someone asked them if there was any planned release for Stadia, they replied, if you purchased a copy of Super Hot on Google Stadia, you will be eligible for a free copy of Mind Control Delete when it releases. Unfortunately, no word on that release yet, but it did get rated on the ESRB, and no actual indication of what that means if pretty much the majority of us didn't buy it, but we got it free with the pro membership. Now, if you happen to be an individual who bought this game prior to the 16th of July, you will be getting this game for sure free. As for the rest of us, if I really had to guess, I would say we probably will have to drop $14.99 for this sequel. But what a nice surprise if we don't. I guess we'll find out when it finally does launch on Stadia, and my guess is that's going to be sometime soon. Alright, and the last piece of news for Stadia is going to be a curious one to say the least, and is brought to you by our friend over at Cloudy with a Chance of Games. Please check out that website. And that is that Google is hiring an executive game producer for Stadia Games and Entertainment. And going through the things that they are looking for, we have a few key things to point out that really stuck to me. At one point it writes, understanding game key performance indications, ability to create success criteria for the creation of new systems and features in a AAA game. Let's highlight that AAA part. Another line here says, an executive producer at Stadia Games and Entertainment, you will be driving a large-scale game studio in the development and launch of video games on Stadia. So there is a plural there in games. And another thing that stuck out here is manage the delivery of a portfolio of high-quality exclusive games that showcase the best of the Stadia platform. So this looks to me to be like a big-time job for someone. And what does that mean though for the rest of us as consumers? Well, to me, it simply means that Stadia is continuing to further invest in their first-party studios and games and looking to hire, hopefully, the very best, as there is at the time of this video almost 90 applicants. The job is for a possible studio in London, so keep that in mind if you're interested, as I know we have quite a few game developers and makers who watch this channel. Overall, in the back of my mind, when I see listings like these, it's a small piece of news for us, and it doesn't ripple much for us as gamers, but for me personally, it continues to drive home something that I try to drive home kind of into the haters, and that is that this platform and project is truly here for the long term. And it was obviously encouraging that it looks as though there will be definitely multiples of first-party titles headed to this platform. So for me, overall, good news and positive news to take in. With that said, if you guys have any thoughts on any news today, please let me know down below. Do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Watch my streams every Monday on Twitch and Wednesdays and Saturdays here on YouTube, as I love to hang out with you guys live and get your thoughts. Subscribe for more Stadia news and cloud gaming coverage. I'm Sunny, and I'll see you guys in the cloud.